Before we get into today's chat, quick one. If you're not 100% sure how your HR is really holding up, take our free HR health check. It's short, jargon-free, and gives you a clear score on what's working and what needs a bit of love. And if you do it before 1st April 2026, you'll get a bonus 7-pillar strategy on a page, tailored to help you manage HR brilliantly for the year ahead. Just head to kateunderwoodhr.co.uk/HR-health-check or check the link in the show notes. If you've ever had a holiday request land in your inbox and you've instantly thought, this is going to cause drama, you are not alone, because time off should be the easy bit. People rest, recharge, come back nicer, everyone wins. And yet, in small businesses, holidays can cause more tension than a leaky roof, especially when you've got peak seasons, skeleton staffing, school holidays, and someone who always seems to book the same 2 weeks every year like it's been carved into stone tablets. This is Buzzing About HR, and today we're talking time off, tension on. Sorting holidays without falling out. Hello and welcome back. It's Kate. Hazel is here too, my wellbeing officer. She sat nearby doing her best I support wellbeing face, which mainly involves pretending she hasn't been fed in at least 12 years. Hazel sighs. Translation: less talking, more treats. Right, let's get into why holidays get so spicy. It's rarely about the actual holiday. It's about fairness. It's about feeling overlooked. It's about someone thinking, why do they always get what they want and I never do? It's about people feeling like they can't switch off, or like the business falls apart without them. It's about managers dreading the rota jigsaw. And it's about the business owner sitting there thinking, I cannot have the whole team off at once, or we'll all be living here. So when holiday goes wrong, what you're really dealing with is emotion, perception, and trust. Let's talk about the common flashpoints. 1. Last-minute requests. Someone asks for next week off and you've already got 2 people away. They're disappointed when it's a no. You feel guilty. They feel resentful. Then you're in a sulk situation. 2. School holidays. If you've got parents in the team, those weeks matter. But if the same people always get priority, everyone else starts feeling like they're second class. 3. The I booked it first argument. Someone submits a request 6 months in advance and thinks they've won. Someone else asks later and is told no, and now you've got a fairness debate. 4. The favourite manager effect. If requests get approved based on who asked nicely or who the manager likes, you'll create tension, even if you don't mean to. 5. The unofficial swapping and side deals. Don't worry, I'll just swap with Jamie. Except Jamie didn't agree and the manager didn't know. And now the rota is wrong and everyone's annoyed. 6. People not taking holidays. This sounds like the opposite problem, but it causes the same tension. Because if someone never takes time off, they become a bottleneck. They get resentful. They hoard knowledge, they burn out, and then when they finally take leave, everything is chaos because nobody's covered. Now, the goal here is simple. You want a system that feels fair, is easy to manage, and doesn't rely on the manager's mood that day. So here are the practical fixes. First, set clear rules that everyone understands. You don't need a long policy. You need clear basics. How much notice is required? How many people can be off at once? What are the peak periods? What's the process for requesting? Who approves? And what happens if 2 people want the same time? If those rules are not written down and shared, you'll end up with the manager being the policy. And that's when people start saying, well, you said yes to them last time. It becomes personal, and that's where the falling out begins. Second, decide how you'll handle peak weeks. This is where most businesses come unstuck. If you have periods where you simply can't have multiple people off, name them. Be honest. For example, if December is your busiest month, say so. If summer Saturdays are non-negotiable, say so. If end of month is crunch time, say so. People can cope with boundaries. What they can't cope with is surprise boundaries that appear only when they ask. Third, build in a fairness system. There are a few ways to do this, and you can pick what suits your business. You can rotate priority. So if someone got Christmas week last year, they go lower priority this year. You can use a cap on peak leave. For example, everyone can request 1 week in peak season, and additional requests are only approved if there's capacity. You can have a first come, first served rule, but only if the system is genuinely accessible and consistent. That means people know when the holiday calendar opens and managers approve within a set time frame, so it's not a waiting game. The key is this. You need something that stops the same people winning every time, otherwise resentment builds quietly and then explodes over something tiny like a late request. Fourth, approve quickly and communicate clearly. If someone puts in a request and hears nothing for 2 weeks, they will assume you're ignoring them or playing favourites, even if you're just busy. A simple rule helps. Approve or decline within 5 working days. If you can't decide yet, tell them when you will decide. That reduces anxiety and stops rumours. Fifth, separate the person from the decision. When you decline leave, don't make it feel like a judgment on them. Make it about capacity. Try something like, I can't approve that week because we already have 2 people off and we won't have safe cover. If you can flex the dates, I can approve the week before or the week after. That keeps it practical. It also shows you're trying to help, not just saying no. Sixth, don't rely on informal swaps without oversight. Swapping can work brilliantly, but it must be visible. The manager still needs to approve it, and the calendar needs updating. Otherwise, you'll end up with cover gaps and arguments about who agreed what. Seventh, plan cover, not heroics. In small businesses, holidays often fail because the business relies on one hero who holds everything in their head. Then when they're off, everyone panics. Build simple cover plans. What tasks need covering? What can pause? Who is the backup? Where are the instructions? You don't need a perfect manual. You need enough that the business doesn't fall over when someone takes a week off. Eighth, encourage people to actually take their holiday. This is a culture piece. If people feel guilty taking time off, they won't rest properly. They'll stay half on, checking emails, putting out fires, and they'll come back more tired than when they left. Set the tone. Holidays are for switching off. If you message people on holiday, you're telling everyone that time off isn't real. Unless it's a genuine emergency, leave them alone. And define what counts as a genuine emergency. Because some managers think everything is an emergency. Now, a quick word on manager behaviour, because this is where things get messy. Managers need consistency. If one manager is relaxed and says yes to everything, and another is strict and says no to everything, you'll create fairness issues across the business. So align your managers on a shared approach. Also, please don't approve leave in the moment, just to avoid an awkward conversation. That is how you end up with 3 people off, no cover, and a business owner quietly crying into their tea. Be kind, but be clear. Now let's do a quick check to stop the tension before it starts. Do people know the rules? Do they know how far ahead they should request? Do you have a shared holiday calendar everyone can see? Do managers approve quickly? Do you have a fairness method for peak weeks? Do you plan cover in advance? And do people feel safe taking their holiday without being made to feel guilty? If you've got a couple of no's in there, that's your starting point. This week, here's what I want you to do. One simple action. Put your holiday rules into a short, plain English message, 5 lines max. Share it with the team. Then open a shared holiday calendar and make it visible. And if you don't have one, even a basic system will do. The point is transparency. If you want to go one step further, look at last year's peak leave. Who got what? Is there a pattern where the same people always get the best weeks? If yes, you found the root of the tension. If you're a manager listening, your job isn't to make everyone happy all the time. Your job is to be fair, consistent, and clear. People can cope with a no when it's explained properly. What they can't cope with is feeling like the rules change depending on who's asking. And if you're the business owner, remember this. Holiday tension is rarely about entitlement. It's usually about trust. When people trust the system, they accept the outcome. When they don't trust the system, every decision feels personal. Hazel sighs again. Translation. Time off means naps. I support this message. Kettle on, standards up, see you next time. That's it for today. But if you fancy a bit of friendly HR advice in your inbox with zero waffle, come and join our newsletter. We send out bite-sized tips, plain English updates, and handy things you'll actually use. No spam, no fluff. You can sign up at kateunderwoodhr.co.uk/newsletter-sign up or just hit the link in the show